Is your mother struggling to sleep at night because her legs frequently twitch, waking her in pain and fear? Is your father no longer descending the stairs with ease, holding onto the railing, each step tentative, as if he no longer trusts the strength of his own legs? And perhaps even you, someone still full of aspiration to live a healthy life after retirement, have begun to avoid long trips or social gatherings, due to a quiet fear. Will my legs be strong enough to walk, to stand, to return safely? If you find yourself answering yes to any of these questions, I urge you not to be too quick in concluding that this is just part of getting older. The truth, though perhaps difficult to accept, is also far clearer. You are not weakening because of age. You are weakening due to a seemingly harmless mistake, repeated each day without awareness. It is not due to poor habits. It is not because of insufficient physical activity. It is due to the vitamins you consume, those you have been taking faithfully every morning with the belief that you are protecting your health. Yes, those very vitamins that millions of individuals over 60 take daily, convinced they are the key to longevity, or the secret to healthy aging. What they do not realize is that, after a certain point, the body changes, and what once supported wellness may become a toxic burden, slowly undermining strength, especially in the legs. And so, quietly and progressively, leg strength declines. There may be no sharp pain, no dramatic signal, just the gradual realization that movements become cautious. Sitting down requires more effort, and each morning brings a sense of lost mobility. Before this process advances too far, it is essential to understand the root cause. There are two common vitamins, widely used and often misused, that pose serious risks for those over the age of 60. These substances, though beneficial in the right context, can inappropriately affect muscle function, cause nocturnal cramps, reduce balance, and increase the risk of falls and loss of independence when used incorrectly in older adults. This is not a condemnation of vitamins themselves. Rather, it is a scientific and compassionate reminder that, as we age, our bodies require different strategies, different care, and different awareness. And unfortunately, those most at risk of this misuse are often the ones most attentive to their health. They trust what they've been told. They receive no warnings. They never suspect that something so small could have such significant consequences. Over the next few minutes, I will share with you the two specific vitamins that are being overused in adults over 60, and the physiological reasons why they impair muscle strength and increase physical vulnerability. The subtle early signs your body may already be showing, but which often go unnoticed. And most importantly, natural, evidence-based steps to reverse these effects, without expensive treatments or difficult therapy. Let me be clear, this is not fearmongering. It is a wake-up call, grounded in science and delivered with the sole intention of helping you regain control over your health and your independence. Please stay with me. What you are about to learn may be the difference between walking peacefully through a park and watching life pass by from a chair. Unable to join in? If you believe that health knowledge should be shared and protected, not only for yourself but for your loved ones as well, especially those entering their later years, I invite you to subscribe to this channel now. Your support encourages our team at Wellness Path now to continue creating meaningful, reliable, and life-changing content. And before we proceed, I have one final question, designed to prompt reflection on how we perceive health. Question for reflection. In your opinion, what is the most dangerous silent threat to people's health after the age of 60? A. Poor habits, such as consuming too much sugar or being sedentary. B. Well-intentioned but misapplied health practices that are believed to be beneficial. Please type A or B in the comment section to let us know your thoughts, and to contribute to a conversation that may help someone make a life-saving change. Just in time. After the age of 60, the human body does not raise alarms with loud signals. It whispers. It gently reminds us through subtle signs, a slower step, a staircase that suddenly feels steeper, or a morning when your legs feel unusually heavy for no apparent reason. You may be experiencing these symptoms daily without truly noticing them. Perhaps you take a little longer to stand up just to avoid feeling lightheaded. Perhaps you've turned down a walk simply because your legs felt a bit weak today. Or maybe you watch your grandchildren run around the house, and instead of joining them, you merely smile. These may seem like trivial details, but they reflect the quiet shrinking of the world you once moved freely within. There is a medical term for this phenomenon: sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass. After age 60, the body naturally loses about 1% of muscle mass per year. It may sound insignificant, until you realize that climbing stairs now leaves you winded. Your steps feel less stable, and standing for long periods causes discomfort in your knees. When your legs weaken, you begin to avoid movement. As you move less, your body becomes weaker still. Gradually, you become someone who needs assistance. Someone who is advised to be careful when walking. And perhaps most dangerous of all, you start to believe that you will never feel strong again. This belief is a perilous trap. Many older adults assume that joint pain, muscle weakness, and loss of balance are simply a natural part of aging. As a result, they don't try to improve these issues. They do not question whether their daily vitamins might be contributing to fatigue. Nor do they consider whether certain everyday foods are causing swelling or sluggishness in the legs. I recall meeting a gentleman named Walter, 68 years old. Living in a quiet town in Ohio, he shared how he gradually felt like he was losing control over his own body. Month by month, he noticed his movements becoming heavier, his legs trembling when rising from a chair, and painful leg cramps waking him at night. When he saw his doctor, there was no alarming diagnosis. "It's just aging," they said, and Walter accepted that, until the day he fell in his bathroom and couldn't get up for over 30 minutes. Waiting until a neighbor discovered him. That moment became a turning point. Walter chose to relearn his body. He researched nutrition, physical activity, and most importantly, he reviewed the supplements he was taking. To his shock, he discovered that the very vitamins he believed were protecting his health were actually contributing to the symptoms he was experiencing. Within just 3 months of making key adjustments, Walter noticed remarkable improvements. He wasn't running marathons, but he could now climb stairs without needing to grip the handrail. His legs no longer felt stiff every morning. Most importantly, he regained the feeling that he was still in control of his life. After the age of 60, nothing is more valuable than maintaining autonomy, the ability to open your own front door, walk to the park on your own, or stand in your kitchen and cook a meal for loved ones without the fear of slipping or becoming exhausted. You are not alone on this journey. Millions of people, just like you, are quietly enduring similar challenges, slowing down, not because they must, but because they believe they have no choice. But like you, they deserve the right to know the truth, to understand their options, and to take action. And you, who are still here with me, deserve to walk through the rest of your life with steadiness, dignity, and hope. If you are still listening, it means you're ready for what comes next: the revelation of 2 vitamins, long believed to be miracle pills, that may actually be silently weakening your legs every single day. Together, we will not only expose the truth, but explore practical, science-backed steps to reverse this trend for your health and your future. Are you ready to begin? A painful paradox is quietly unfolding across millions of households with elderly members throughout the United States. The more diligently older adults take their daily vitamins, the weaker their legs become. The more effort they put into preventing illness, the more fragile their bodies seem to grow. In many of these cases, the true culprit is not disease or age, but the very vitamins they believe are helping them. Specifically, vitamin A and vitamin D, often hailed as miracle nutrients for anti-aging and bone strength, can, in reality, become silent toxins for people over the age of 60. Both vitamins are fat-soluble, meaning they are not easily flushed out of the body like water-soluble vitamins such as C or B complex. Instead, vitamins A and D accumulate in the liver, fat tissues, and bones if they are not fully metabolized. And when this accumulation crosses a certain threshold, it doesn't just cause minor side effects like nausea or headaches, it can lead to neuromuscular disturbances, persistent cramps, joint pain, and muscle weakness, particularly in the legs and thighs. According to a 2021 study from the National Institutes of Health, NIH, older adults are significantly more vulnerable to developing vitamin toxicity, especially when supplementation is not medically supervised. Many are unaware they are consuming 2 to 3 times the recommended daily intake. Due to overlapping sources such as dietary supplements, multivitamins, and prescription medications. This risk is heightened by a simple but often ignored truth. Our bodies change dramatically after age 60. For one, liver and kidney functions, which are vital in processing and eliminating excess vitamins, decline with age. The Mayo Clinic notes that liver efficiency decreases by approximately 25% after age 60. And blood flow through the kidneys also diminishes. This means fat-soluble vitamins remain in the body longer, increasing the potential for toxicity. Additionally, our body composition changes. Fat distribution increases in visceral areas, while muscle mass declines, a condition known as sarcopenia, because vitamins A and D are stored in fat tissue. These changes disrupt how the body stores and processes them. This can create an imbalance in how vitamins are absorbed and distributed. Furthermore, the digestive system also becomes less efficient. Research from Harvard Health Publishing shows that enzyme secretion in the intestines decreases in older adults, impairing the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. This means even normal doses can lead to uneven absorption, causing unused portions to build up in the liver or bloodstream. The symptoms of vitamin toxicity in older adults are often subtle, so subtle that they go unnoticed or are mistaken for general aging. These may include nighttime leg cramps, reduced balance, dull pain in the hips or knees, chronic fatigue, digestive issues like constipation or erratic bowel movements, and even elevated calcium levels due to excess vitamin D, which can lead to kidney stones. Insomnia, or heart rhythm disturbances. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that 14% of people over 65 had vitamin D levels above the safety threshold due to uncontrolled supplementation. Of these, more than 60% reported muscle fatigue and lower limb weakness. Yet most were never correctly diagnosed. What's more ironic is that those who experience these problems are often the most health-conscious individuals. They trust the advice they find online or in advertisements, believing that more is better, without realizing they are slowly self-poisoning. Adding to the problem is the excessive dosage of many supplements sold on the market. A single tablet of vitamin A can contain up to 10.000 IU, while the recommended daily allowance for adults over 60 is just 2.300 IU for women and 3.000 IU for men. Vitamin D supplements are frequently sold in 5.000 IU doses, well above the safe upper limit of 2.000 IU per day for older adults. The truth is, no one is denying the essential role vitamins play in health, but supplementing with vitamins should not be based on assumptions or emotional impulses. For older adults, every decision involving micronutrients must be guided by knowledge, medical testing, and professional oversight. This includes understanding your current vitamin levels through blood tests, evaluating the condition of your liver, kidneys, and musculoskeletal system, and assessing potential drug-nutrient interactions with any existing medications. When done correctly, vitamins can return to their proper role, supportive companions, not miracle fixes. In the end, vitamin A and D are not enemies, but misusing them, especially in old age, can silently erode your strength, balance, and confidence to move freely. Ironically, many take these vitamins to protect themselves from the very decline they're unknowingly accelerating. If you've ever taken vitamins hoping for a longer, healthier life, you deserve to know the full truth. In the next section, we will delve deeper into the specific mechanisms by which vitamins A and D affect muscle health and bone metabolism, the early signs of toxicity you should never ignore, and the simple, science-based steps to reverse their harmful effects. Because the best medicine is not blind faith, but informed choice. Vitamin A, the silent betrayer. A troubling paradox is quietly unfolding in the health routines of millions of older adults. The more diligently they supplement with vitamin A, the weaker their legs become. The more they try to prevent illness, the more vulnerable their bodies grow. Many believe they are doing the right thing by taking vitamin A to improve vision, enhance skin, and boost immunity. But what they often overlook is this: after the age of 60, the human body no longer processes nutrients as it once did. Even small deviations in dosage can have significant consequences. Vitamin A is a fat-soluble vitamin. Unlike water-soluble vitamins such as vitamin C or the B-complex group, which are easily excreted through urine, Vitamin A is absorbed and stored in the liver, adipose tissue, and bones. When taken in excess, even slightly over time, it accumulates in the body, potentially leading to toxic effects without immediate symptoms. This issue becomes even more serious in older adults. Why? Because the body's detoxification functions, particularly the liver, gradually decline with age. According to the Mayo Clinic, hepatic blood flow and enzymatic activity decrease significantly after age 60, impairing the body's ability to metabolize and eliminate excess vitamin A as a result. Seniors are more susceptible to vitamin A toxicity, even when consuming doses considered normal. This toxicity does not manifest acutely. It does not result in immediate fever or seizures like other forms of poisoning. Instead, it gradually erodes physical resilience, especially in the legs. Common early symptoms include difficulty standing after prolonged sitting, a heavy or dragging sensation in the legs, or poor balance. Some describe it as walking through water or having weights tied to the ankles. In many cases, these symptoms stem not from aging or arthritis, but from elevated vitamin A levels in the blood. Moreover, excess vitamin A disrupts the absorption of calcium and magnesium, two essential minerals for proper muscle contraction and nerve signaling. Deficiencies or imbalances in these minerals can lead to muscle cramps, persistent calf pain, and impaired neuromuscular function. In some cases, these symptoms are mistakenly diagnosed as sciatica or osteoarthritis, when the true cause is a daily dose of a seemingly harmless vitamin. One of the most concerning aspects is that vitamin A is present in a wide range of sources, not just standalone supplements. Many individuals believe they do not take vitamin A directly, yet unknowingly consume large amounts through multivitamins, anti-aging supplements, skin hair nail complexes, or even dietary sources like organ meat. For example, a 100-gram serving of beef liver contains over 6,000 mcg of vitamin A, while the recommended daily intake for older adults is only 700 mcg for women and 900 mcg for men, as per the U.S. Institute of Medicine. A single serving can exceed the safe threshold many times over. Furthermore, vitamin A is often fortified in products such as breakfast cereals, nutritional shakes, and fortified foods marketed to seniors. This leads to accidental overdosing through cumulative intake, particularly among those who take multiple supplements without thoroughly reviewing the labels. A report from the National Institutes of Health, NIH, indicates that up to 30% of American seniors consume more than the tolerable upper intake level of vitamin A daily, often unknowingly. Consider the case of Eleanor, a 72-year-old woman from Texas. She maintained a balanced diet and had no major health conditions. However, she began experiencing stiff legs in the morning, difficulty climbing stairs, and occasional imbalance. A comprehensive assessment at a geriatric clinic revealed her vitamin A blood levels were 2.5 times the recommended limit. Upon reviewing her supplement routine, it became clear she had been taking 3 different products, each containing vitamin A. She also consumed chicken liver twice a week. After adjusting her intake and eliminating excess sources, her symptoms improved significantly within 6 weeks. Eleanor's experience is not unique. It illustrates a widespread misconception in modern health culture: the belief that more is always better. For older adults, however, the body does not require more, it requires precision. Even slight excesses can have compounding effects because the biological systems responsible for nutrient regulation are no longer as efficient. This is not to suggest that vitamin A should be avoided entirely. It remains essential for health. But supplementation must be guided by medical reasoning, not assumptions. That means blood tests to assess current levels, careful examination of supplement labels, and awareness of high vitamin A foods like organ meats and fortified products. After age 60, even a small daily surplus can accumulate, potentially leading to fatigue, muscle weakness, and impaired mobility. We cannot reverse the aging process, but we can deepen our understanding of how our bodies work, and in doing so, protect our legs, our independence, and our quality of life. Every step we take in our later years should be grounded in informed decisions. You can continue trusting in long-held routines, or you can pause, reflect, and ask the essential question: what does my body truly need? Am I nourishing myself, or unknowingly creating a burden? It's never too late to change direction. Because your legs, having carried you through life's many seasons, deserve to be protected, understood, and cared for by the one person who knows your body best, you. In recent years, vitamin D has become a symbol of healthy aging among older adults. With its widespread reputation for strengthening bones, preventing osteoporosis, and supporting immune function, this vitamin has made its way into nearly every piece of nutritional advice targeting individuals over the age of 60. However, this popularity has given rise to a hidden danger. People have begun to take vitamin D routinely and emotionally, without evaluating their actual physiological needs, their individual health conditions, or the declining efficiency of their aging metabolism. The unfortunate truth is that many older adults are suffering from the harmful effects of excessive vitamin D intake, even while believing they are doing everything right for their health. And in many cases, these individuals have experienced a loss of mobility, leg strength, or progressive metabolic imbalance, all without realizing that the cause may lie in a seemingly harmless supplement they take every morning. Vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin, which means that, unlike water-soluble vitamins such as vitamin C or the B complex, it is not easily excreted through urine. Instead, it is stored long-term in the liver, adipose tissue, and bones. While this mechanism allows vitamin D to exert a prolonged and steady influence, it also opens the door to accumulation. When taken in high doses for extended periods, especially from supplements, the vitamin builds up in the bloodstream and can lead to hypercalcemia, a condition characterized by elevated calcium levels that can disrupt neuromuscular function and damage the kidneys. This problem is exacerbated in older individuals for three key reasons. First, liver and kidney function, the two systems responsible for metabolizing and eliminating excess vitamin D, decline significantly with age. According to the Mayo Clinic, renal blood flow decreases by approximately 10% per decade after age 40. And hepatic efficiency also diminishes markedly after 60. What the body could easily process at the 30th of may now linger and accumulate, increasing the risk of toxicity. Second, changes in body composition further complicate the distribution of fat-soluble vitamins. After the age of 60, age-related muscle loss, known as sarcopenia, occurs, while visceral fat tends to increase. This alteration in fat distribution leads to irregular storage of vitamin D, which may concentrate in soft tissues and internal organs rather than supporting the skeletal system as intended. Third, age-related decline in gastrointestinal absorption plays a critical role. According to Harvard Health Publishing, enzymatic activity in the digestive tract, especially enzymes involved in lipid breakdown, diminishes with age. Since vitamin D requires fat for optimal absorption, impaired digestion may paradoxically cause incomplete processing of the supplement, leading to unregulated retention in the bloodstream and liver. The early symptoms of vitamin D overdose are often subtle and easily overlooked, particularly in older adults. Complaints such as dull leg pain, nighttime cramps, balance difficulties, persistent fatigue, or even general muscular weakness are frequently misattributed to natural aging or misdiagnosed as joint inflammation. In reality, these may be early manifestations of hypercalcemia or soft tissue calcification caused by prolonged excess vitamin D. Take, for instance, Mrs. Eleanor, a 73-year-old from Texas, who took 4,000 IU of vitamin D daily for over 2 years after reading a blog promoting it for immune health. Within 8 months, she began experiencing frequent nighttime urination, lower back pain, and heaviness in her legs each morning. After multiple inconclusive diagnoses, a hospital visit for a fall-related injury revealed blood vitamin D levels nearly twice the safe limit. Once she discontinued supplementation and began clinical monitoring, her symptoms gradually subsided. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2022, found that over 13% of Americans over age 65 had serum vitamin D levels exceeding the recommended upper threshold. Of those, nearly 60% reported symptoms such as muscle cramps, chronic fatigue, and lower limb weakness, yet few received proper diagnostic testing to link these conditions to vitamin D toxicity. Alarmingly, the individuals most at risk are often those most diligent in managing their health. Following online advice, promotional articles, or well-meaning but uninformed recommendations, they may unknowingly consume dangerously high cumulative doses. Vitamin D is now commonly included in fortified breakfast cereals, bone health supplements, calcium pills, and even senior-specific dairy products. Without realizing it, one may consume well over 5,000 IU per day, far exceeding the 2,000 IU per day upper intake level recommended by the Institute of Medicine, IOM, for older adults. What makes this issue even more serious is the multisystemic damage caused by vitamin D toxicity. Excess calcium, triggered by elevated vitamin D levels, puts the kidneys under tremendous strain and can accelerate chronic kidney disease. Calcium may also deposit in the vascular walls, leading to arterial calcification, arrhythmias, and an increased risk of cardiovascular events. In older adults, the margin between deficiency and excess is extremely narrow. Unlike younger bodies, seniors lack the physiological resilience to recover quickly from metabolic imbalances. A few weeks of incorrect dosing may require several months of intervention, and in some cases, full recovery may not be possible. Each individual has unique needs. There is no one-size-fits-all dosage. Instead of following generic advice, the correct approach is to undergo regular blood testing, especially to evaluate serum 25:0 levels, and to supplement only when medically indicated. Natural exposure to morning sunlight, 15–30 minutes daily, remains the safest and most effective strategy for maintaining optimal vitamin D levels. Ultimately, vitamin D is not the enemy. But misuse, however well-intentioned, can transform it from a protective ally into a silent antagonist. Senior health is not defined by the number of pills consumed each day but by the quality of informed decisions made over time. Your legs, which have carried you through the decades, deserve to remain strong and mobile. They should not bear the weight of misinformation or unchecked habits. Respect your body's changing needs. Seek medical guidance when appropriate. And remember, balance, not excess, is the foundation of health in every stage of life. After the age of 60, the human body rarely raises alarms with intense pain or overt symptoms. Instead, it sends subtle signals, rising a bit more slowly from a chair, walking with slightly less stability, or feeling heaviness in the calves at the end of the day. Unfortunately, most of these signs are hastily attributed to just aging, and thus overlooked. Yet it is precisely these early indicators that mark the onset of lower limb muscle decline, a key factor that determines quality of life, mobility, and independence in older adults. As a specialist in aging health and functional nutrition, I often recommend a simple 7-point early detection checklist. 1. Legs feel shaky when rising from a seated position. 2. Noticeably slower walking pace than before. 3. Nighttime leg cramps, especially in the calves. 4. Loss of balance when turning or stepping over low obstacles. 5. Heavy sensation in the thighs and calves after a short walk. 6. Difficulty climbing stairs without holding onto a railing. 7. Persistent fatigue even after simple household tasks. If 2 or more of these signs are present, it should be considered a clear indication that action is needed to restore muscular strength before mobility becomes a major challenge. One often overlooked cause of such deterioration is the cumulative effect of improper vitamin supplementation. Many older adults take vitamin A, D or multivitamin formulas for months or even years without ever testing blood levels. Yet clinical observations show that once inappropriate supplements are discontinued, significant improvement can be seen in just 4 to 6 weeks. This change is not coincidental. It stems from reducing the toxic metabolic burden of excessive fat-soluble vitamins, which often accumulate in liver and muscle tissue. I always emphasize 3 non-negotiable steps in restoring lower limb function. Comprehensive blood testing to assess vitamin A, D, B12, magnesium, and ionized calcium levels. Expert consultation, to ensure decisions about supplementation are medically grounded, not based on intuition. Targeted nutrient rebalancing. Vitamin B12 aids neuromuscular signaling, essential for those with numbness and instability. Magnesium supports muscle relaxation and cramp prevention. Zinc contributes to muscle fiber regeneration and soft tissue repair. A silent but prevalent contributor to muscle weakness in seniors is the consumption of fortified food products, particularly dairy drinks, processed breakfast cereals, and meal replacement powders designed for the elderly. These items often contain high levels of vitamin A and D which, when combined with supplements, may far exceed the body's actual needs. Ironically, many people maintain what they believe to be a healthy diet, yet continue to weaken physically, because their nutrient intake is out of sync with their body's diminishing capacity to metabolize excesses. To address this, I often recommend a recovery-focused meal composition that includes easily digestible proteins, steamed salmon, boiled eggs, soybeans, magnesium-rich greens, spinach, broccoli, pumpkin, clean carbohydrates, unsweetened whole oats with no added vitamin enrichment, healthy fats, olive oil, almonds. Above all, I advise patients to avoid fortified food products if they are already taking vitamin or mineral supplements. Equally important as nutrition is movement-based rehabilitation, which remains underestimated. Once muscle weakness sets in, many assume they're too old to exercise. But this is incorrect. Muscle can regenerate at any age, if activated properly. I guide older adults through gentle, 10-minute daily routines, such as sit-to-stand repetitions from a sturdy chair with armrests, 10 reps daily. Gradually increasing seated calf raises to promote circulation and strengthen muscle fibers. Aqua walking or hydrotherapy exercises to reduce joint impact and restore coordination. Even the frailest individuals, when consistent, can regain substantial leg strength within 8 to 12 weeks. And from this transformation emerges something powerful, a regained sense of autonomy. No longer confined to a wheelchair. No longer skipping grocery trips. No longer turning down family gatherings for fear of exhaustion. They begin to reclaim the rhythm of living. There is a quiet truth we seldom confront. Health after the age of 60 does not vanish overnight. It fades gradually. Piece by piece, with each improperly taken supplement, each misguided piece of advice followed, and each ignored signal from a body that is desperately trying to speak. We often believe we're taking better care of ourselves by taking vitamins regularly, consuming fortified foods, and following so-called healthy lifestyles promoted online. Yet few realize that the very things we trust to protect us might silently be weakening our legs, our strength, and ultimately, our independence. Vitamins A and D, once hailed as heroes, can, when misused, become burdens to the liver, kidneys, and musculoskeletal system. This is especially true for older adults, whose metabolic functions have naturally declined. As a result, these fat-soluble vitamins may accumulate beyond safe levels, leading to joint pain, imbalance, muscle weakness, and a significantly increased risk of falls and fractures. That is why, at this stage of life, the most important thing you can do for your body is not to take more, but to pause and understand. Understand what your body truly needs. Recognize that every body is unique, and there is no one-size-fits-all formula. Know that blood testing, professional consultation, and deep listening to your body's signals are the true foundations of sustainable health. After 60, every steady step is a gift. You don't need a miracle. You simply need awareness, and the conviction that you deserve to live actively, without fear, without dependence, and without passing through old age in uncertainty or regret. And if you see yourself in these words, subscribe to this channel today. Every subscription, every comment, every share is powerful encouragement for us to continue creating meaningful content, not just information, but truly inspiring stories that touch the heart and awaken the good that may have been sleeping within you. Thank you for staying with us until the end. And remember, your journey toward true wellness is only just beginning.